What up? What up? What up with your big dog? Let me hear some music, man. Alright. Get him. Hey. Alright, let me turn this down. Listen. I just saw a Facebook post. Or excuse me, I just saw on World Star, and yes, that is a green screen, where this woman made a comment on Facebook and the Secret Service showed up at her door. You can see it on World Star Hip Hop. And I'm going to tell you something. I know, if you don't know, like everybody should know that the government looks at your Facebook post, and we all got something to say. Now, okay, so the woman was talking about, can I not exercise my freedom of speech? Now, what she said was very concerning, and that's why they showed up at her door. She basically, what I don't even want to repeat it because I don't want them showing up at my door. But basically what she said was, they take very seriously. And especially in this day and age where just anything can pop off. Now, I remember a young man that I actually talked to. And this dude had, he got locked up at one time. And basically, I was like, what you do? And what this guy did was, he was drunk at a party with his friends. And you know how, young people get drunk and they do all kind of stuff. Well, they pretty much bet this guy that he wouldn't write a letter to the president. And I think George Bush Jr. was in at the time, W. And he wrote a letter to him, saying that he was going to do all kind of crazy stuff. And the Secret Service showed up at his door. And when they did, they took him away, put him in county, and they held him there under federal indictment. So just so you guys can get an understanding of pretty much what that is. When you make a statement about the president and wanting to, do certain things to the president, your commander-in-chief, and the Secret Service come and get you because they take you seriously, that is a federal crime. If you're indicted under a federal crime, there's no speedy trial. They don't have to hurry up and get you bail and all that other stuff, and put you back on the block. No. You could be there for 2 years or more. It's just no speedy trial. They can just throw you in jail. And here's the thing. People always talk about how federal, I've never been to federal prison, how federal prison is a lot easier because, you got lifers in there. And then you got people who are in state, and how state is 24-hour lockdown, and it is. The thing about it is, when you're sitting in a state prison for a federal crime, it's the worst because you're in 24-hour lockdown. You're watching people leave because they're there for, they could be there for serious crimes, of course, just like you. But if they're not there for a federal crime, you're seeing them on, city and state level. You're just seeing them come and go. They're in there for child support, not paying child support. Some of them are in there just for, a minor ticket. You got guys that are in there because they actually want to be in there because it's cold outside. So they go steal a bag of chips out of the grocery store and head straight for the door. And they walk and take their good old time because they know the security is going to come and arrest them. And they're hoping that they get 6 months. Why? Because they get a place to sleep. It's warm, free TV, and they get 3 meals a day. So it's like, I'm homeless. It's cold outside. I don't want to freeze. I'm going to go and commit a crime. And you have people who really, 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 really do this. They really do that. So you're seeing people coming and going, and you're locked in there for 2-3 years for some stupid Facebook post or some retarded letter that you decided to write and send off and all this other stuff. Listen, the Secret Service is watching all of us right now. Remember that whole Apple and Alexa's thing from Amazon? Do you work for the government? The answer is yes. They do. Here, let me do this. If you guys didn't see my video before where I asked my computer, do they work for the government? I had all kind of crazy answers, but none of it said no. Now listen. I have an Apple computer. This is Siri. And yes, I know that they bug my computer. Do you work for the government?
Nope.
You see? Now, if you guys go and look at my video that I posted last year, you'll see that none of those answers were clear. But it's very clear now because of the updates that they give you. Listen, the updates, they give you a couple bells and whistles, but what they're really doing is they're installing software into your system where they can constantly hear you and they can constantly see you. So let's not act like, and what I don't get is, how do you not understand that posting something on Facebook that Zuckerberg has been in federal court about, that everybody knows that the government has control over this? Listen, we're not too far from North Korea when it comes to, of course we can, look at different things all over the web, and then there's the dark web and stuff like that. We can do all that, but you're being monitored. Always. And all this other, I don't even want to get into that. But there's a lot of stuff that's happening out there that's the government's doing. They're doing it so they can have it. You guys didn't see Snowden? They're doing it so they can have an excuse to watch you. And they can do it under some type of act that the people would definitely say, no, I do not want this. How many people want some watchdogs looking at them and their children, because that's exactly what they're doing, looking at them, their children, all these computer cards that they got coming out? Government's going to be all on that. You don't think that they're already tracking you? Look, your Kroger's card is tracking you. Your little BP card that you use for gas, tracking you. They track what you eat. They track when you get gas. They know what kind of car you have. They know everything about you. And you're foolish to think that you are hiding something from them. They know the last burger that you ate. They know where you ate it. They know what kind of burger it was. They know exactly where the ingredients of that burger came from. They know everything. You're not hiding nothing. And for you people who decide, you know what, I'm going to have a computer that's not on the internet, they already know about that too. They already know about that. There's all kind of ways of getting information that they can get without you actually being on the internet. One of them is Bluetooth. When they hand something down to us, they've already exploited it. Listen, there's nothing new up under the sun. They already know how to do all kind of robotic stuff and all this other stuff that you finally see on YouTube. They have already exploited all of it. They're so far advanced and they're so far ahead of the regular, ordinary people that anything that you come up with, they can counter it because they've done all the, R&D. They already know about it. That's it. Everything that you got, everything spiritual, metaphysical, physical, they covered all of it. So you guys don't get on Facebook, because I get on Facebook and I be talking about how I'm disappointed in a lot of, a lot of the systems that we have in place, but we can't get away from them. You know, I'm a black man. I live in fear every day of the systems that they're in place. But what can I do about it? You know, so I voice my opinion. But I'm not stupid enough to go in there and make some crazy comments that are going to get people knocking on my door, you know, trying to, why did you say this? For one, I don't even wish that type of thing on, any of those people. I don't. I'm like, dude, I'm not even on that level. So don't look at me. Don't come to my door and ask me stupid questions, because I'm like, you got the wrong person. I'm not even interested in that. I'm interested in equality. I'm interested in things being fair. I'm interested in people living a good life. And when I don't see that, then I have something to say about it. You know what I'm saying? When I'm seeing people leaving this planet, from other people doing it blatantly, then I have an issue with that. And those are the things I speak on. And another thing is, there's a young man, African American, he was posting some things on Facebook that he didn't like about the police. And guess what? The government came and got him. Put him in jail for 6 months. He lost his apartment, lost his job, all this other stuff. And they're still on him. He's free, but they're still on him. They watch him all the time. And I know other people who are close to me. They were like, the freaking FBI and all that are outside of, my house. They watch me every day. They shoot lasers through my house and all this other stuff. And I didn't believe it when I was first listening to them. But then when I really started listening to them and some of the stuff they saying, I was like, oh, snap. They were like, look, they moved into an apartment right next to me. Like, it's real out here. And she was like, yo, she would come outside on her balcony and they'd be looking right at her. She'd be looking right at them. Because they said that she was a rebel rouser because of the Michael Brown stuff and all the people who protested. And that stuff is still going on. Like, people are still getting into trouble because they think what happened was unfair and they're still protesting. So there's a lot going on, people. I'm just saying, be careful of what you say on Facebook. Yes, you have the right. I think it's the Second Amendment, or I don't know which one it is. The Fifth Amendment. Anyways, you have the right to speak up. But you need to be careful of what you say, because the government has always watched us. They have always been ready to go after people who don't have their interest in mind, and they'll be quick to label you something that you probably are not. You're probably just speaking out of turn or speaking out of anger or out of passion, because there's a lot going on that's affecting you and your family. But be smart, be safe. There are ways of doing that. You can express yourself and write your congressman. That is a very, very powerful way of expressing yourself. You can write it down, send it to your congressman, and because they're in that public position, they have to look at what you're saying. And you can roll right on up the food chain with that. So be smart, be powerful, and learn about your government. And you can actually get things done that way. I used to work in politics. I used to work in the House of Representatives. I was also in the military. I had an issue where I needed more time to stay because there was a funeral because of one of my relatives passed, and the military was like, no, you coming back here right now. I walked right into my congressman's office, and it was a woman there, the secretary. I didn't think she could help me. She was like, I might be able to help you. Just tell me what's wrong. And I told her what my issue was. She made one phone call, and that was it, and that's all. And when I was in the House Representative, there were people that were calling me, and they wanted to talk to the House Rep, but I was a legislative aide. I made a couple phone calls, and things happened. So use the right channel, you guys. God bless. I'm out.